Yeah, this is a new recording. I'll just take a little drop of water. I hope you enjoyed the song about the old lady who swallowed a fly. Yes, she did. And my little dog Susie's looking at me. Okay, now this is another song which I rather like. I know that the man in this song was, I believe he was Harry Belafonte, but I'm not quite sure who the woman was. And you don't hear this song very often, but it starts like this. Henry, Henry, fetch the water. Fetch the water. No, I'm not sure, but there's a problem. There's a hole in my bucket, dear Eliza, dear Eliza. There's a hole in my bucket, dear Eliza, a hole. Then mend it, dear Henry, dear Henry, dear Henry. Then mend it, dear Henry, dear Henry, mend it. I think I'm going to change. I changed the key slightly. There's a hole in my. No, Henry, fetch the water. And Henry replies, there's a hole in my bucket, dear Eliza, dear Eliza. There's a hole in my bucket, dear Eliza, a hole. Then mend it, dear Henry, dear Henry, dear Henry. Then mend it, dear Henry, dear Henry, mend it. With what shall I mend it, dear Eliza, dear Eliza? With what shall I mend it, dear Eliza? With what? With some wood, dear Henry, dear Henry, dear Henry, with some wood, dear Henry, dear Henry, with some wood. With what shall I cut it, dear Eliza, dear Eliza? With what shall I cut it, dear Eliza? With what? With an axe, dear Henry, dear Henry, dear Henry. With an axe, dear Henry, dear Henry, with an axe. But the axe is too blunt, dear Eliza, dear Eliza. The axe is too blunt, dear Eliza, too blunt. Then wet it, dear Henry, dear Henry, dear Henry. Wet it, dear Henry, dear Henry, wet it. Oh, no, sorry. I missed one out. Then sharpen it, dear Henry, dear Henry, dear Henry. Sharpen it, dear Henry, dear Henry. Sharpen it. With what shall I sharpen it, dear Eliza, dear Eliza? With what shall I sharpen it, dear Eliza? With a stone, dear Henry, dear Henry, dear, a stone, dear Henry, dear Henry, with a stone. But the stone is too dry, dear Eliza, dear Eliza. The stone is too dry, dear Eliza, too dry. Then wet it, dear Henry, dear Henry, dear Henry. Wet it, dear Henry, dear Henry. Wet it. With what shall I wet it, dear Eliza, dear Eliza? With what shall I wet it, dear Eliza? With what? With some water, dear Henry, dear Henry, dear Henry. With water, dear Henry, dear Henry. Water. There's a hole in my bucket, dear Eliza, dear Eliza. There's a hole in my bucket, dear Eliza, a hole. I did enjoy that. Sorry about the mistakes.